Have you ever noticed that your favorite snack seems to cost more every time you visit the store? Maybe you remember when a bag of chips or a chocolate bar was just $1, but now it's creeping up in price little by little. Or perhaps you've heard your parents or grandparents talk about the days when a movie ticket cost only a quarter, and you could see a film and buy popcorn for less than a few bucks. This slow, sneaky change is called inflation, the gradual decline in the purchasing power of your money. Over time, each dollar buys you a little bit less. A little inflation is actually normal and even healthy for the economy. Economists usually aim for about 2% inflation each year, which helps keep things moving forward. This gentle rise in prices encourages people to spend and invest, rather than just hoarding cash. It keeps businesses growing and the economy active. But what happens if inflation suddenly gets out of control? Imagine waking up to find that prices aren't just inching up, they're leaping higher overnight. Gas, groceries and rent all become much more expensive in a flash. That's when we leave the world of normal economics and enter a zone of chaos and uncertainty. Think of inflation like aging. Usually it's gradual and mostly harmless, something you barely notice day to day. But what if you suddenly aged 50 years in just 1 week? That's what runaway inflation feels like for your money. That's the difference between regular, manageable inflation and its supervillain cousin, hyperinflation, which can destroy savings and upend lives. Understanding this difference is crucial to seeing how economies can flip from stable and predictable to chaotic and unpredictable in the blink of an eye. So buckle up and get ready. We're about to take a wild ride into the unpredictable world of money and inflation. Let's find out what really happens when inflation goes completely off the rails and why it matters to everyone. Hyperinflation is inflation gone berserk, when the value of money collapses at a shocking speed and prices skyrocket out of control. Prices can rise at over 50% a month, sometimes even faster, making it nearly impossible for people to keep up. That means something costing $100 at the start of the month could cost $150 by the end, and it compounds fast, so the next month it's even more expensive. In just a year, that $100 item could cost nearly $13,000. Everyday essentials become unaffordable almost overnight. Hyperinflation usually starts when governments print huge amounts of money to pay bills or debts, but there's no real economic growth behind it. Just more paper chasing the same goods. The more money floods into the economy, the less each dollar is worth. People quickly lose faith in their currency. People rush to spend cash before it loses even more value, creating a vicious cycle. Prices rise, more money is printed, and the value drops even faster. Panic buying becomes the norm. This isn't just theory. It's happened in real life, with devastating consequences for millions. In 1920s Germany, prices doubled every few days, and life savings vanished almost instantly. People needed wheelbarrows of cash just to buy bread. Hyperinflation destroys trust in money and the economy itself. Businesses close, and people struggle to afford even basic necessities. It's a complete breakdown, hard to imagine until you see it happen, but the effects are devastating for families and entire communities. Let's look at what daily life is like when money melts away, and how people try to survive in a world where cash loses value by the hour. Living through hyperinflation is chaos. In Zimbabwe, prices doubled every day. People spent paychecks immediately before they lost value. In 1920s Germany, people hauled cash in wheelbarrows just to buy bread. Kids played with stacks of worthless bills. Money lost meaning. Restaurants stopped listing prices. They changed too fast. People turned to bartering, potatoes for haircuts, repairs for chickens. Foreign currencies like the US dollar became prized. A parallel economy emerged, built on barter and stable foreign cash. The psychological toll was huge. Life savings evaporated, trust in government and banks collapsed. When money fails, society itself feels shaky. It's a daily scramble just to keep up. Hyperinflation is devastating. Savings are wiped out overnight, businesses are destroyed, and chaos erupts everywhere you look. The financial system, once stable, suddenly feels like it's crumbling beneath everyone's feet. The middle class and retirees suffer the most, as their hard-earned money becomes worthless almost instantly. Years of careful saving and planning can vanish in a matter of days, leaving people feeling helpless and betrayed. But there's a strange twist. If you owe a lot of money, hyperinflation can actually erase your debt. Suddenly, what once seemed like a mountain of bills can disappear with a single payment. In these bizarre times, a huge mortgage might end up costing less than a loaf of bread. Everyday essentials become luxuries, while debts shrink in real value. In Weimar, Germany, some people paid off massive loans with cash that was practically worthless. Wheelbarrows of money bought only a loaf of bread, but debts could be cleared in an instant. But this so-called benefit comes at the cost of total economic ruin. A true Pyrrhic victory. The price paid is the destruction of livelihoods and communities. The destruction far outweighs any upside. Families lose homes, businesses vanish, and hope fades as the economy collapses. Hyperinflation turns the rules of economics upside down and shatters trust in money itself. The very foundation of society is shaken. It's a powerful lesson. Stable money is the foundation of a functioning society. Without it, chaos and hardship quickly follow, reminding us why stability matters. Don't panic. Hyperinflation is rare, usually tied to war or extreme mismanagement. But inflation, in any form, matters. The best defense? Financial literacy. Budgeting gives you control and clarity over your money. Don't keep all your savings in cash. Invest in assets that grow over time, like stocks or real estate. You don't need to be a finance expert. Start small, learn and build habits. Knowledge and proactive steps are your shield against inflation. Stay curious, keep learning and take practical steps. Budget, save, invest. That's how you protect your future, no matter what happens to money.